Hello ladies and gents, DK86 right back here with you, and today I'm talking about the PlayStation VR headset. Sony's just come out and released the price point and the release date for this thing, and yeah, I'm going to go into it and talk about it, but this video has a bit of a twist because I have a special guest.
Well, I'm not that special, but thank you for the introduction.
Yeah, so you probably recognize that voice. That's Nexus of Vice from our DK Nexus Discussions episodes, our YouTube podcast. So check that out if you haven't already. But right now, let's go ahead and talk about PlayStation VR. Okay, so as you may have heard, in the last 10 or so hours, Sony came out and released the price point and the release date for the PlayStation VR. It's due out this October, and it's going to be $399 or £350. As you probably know already, that undercuts the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, which cost $600 and $800 respectively. There is a difference in the specifications and what each device can and can't do, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So as you probably know or may have noticed, I'm very pro VR. I'm really excited about the technology, and I think that it's actually going to go places unlike some other hardware that we've had in the past. Nexus, on the other hand, is, well, I'll let you tell him. I'll let you tell the audience yourself, Nexus. What do you think of the whole VR gimmick, as you say?
Well, you know me, I'm the pessimistic outlook. I'm not going to sit there and overhype anything, but VR tech is there. It works. I'm not trying to saying, oh hey, it's just not going to work. I'm just have an outlook of what is the commercial viability of this technology and what are people going to want and like. I just don't see it moving in there. I mean, everyone's thinking motion control was the wave of the future. I mean, even Xbox and PlayStation tried to jump on that bandwagon when the Wii was doing it, and everyone was jumping on that fad, bandwagon. But now we're here, 10 years later, and where's the motion control, guys? I just think it's one of those things. That and after we'll go into the specs and everything out there are other key reasons why I think that it's more of a niche market instead of an expansive market like everyone's trying to hype it up to be.
And those are interesting points, but I really do think that the VR headset market is going to explode, especially because of all of the different companies that are backing it right now. Have you tried a VR headset, Nexus?
Yes, I have.
Which one did you try?
I tried my Samsung.
No, that doesn't count. That's not a VR headset. That is a gimmick.
I've tried out an Oculus Rift dev kit about a year ago, like one of the first gen ones.
Okay, the first gen one sucked, but saying that though, what did you think of it when you tried it? Because I tried the DK2, development kit 2 for the Oculus, and I thought it was amazing. I was blown away by it.
Well, regardless of the picture, it's not. I'm not against the quality of the product. I'm not against that at all. You can have a spectacular product, but the actual interactivity and actually commercial viability of what people can develop or want people to do in the home, that's the only thing that have a little bit of debate about. I'm not bashing the, oh hey, it has great refresh rate or the quality of the screens or the build or anything like that.
Okay.
So, what do each of these headsets offer?
Okay, so I'll get into that now. So up first is the PlayStation VR. The PlayStation VR has a 120 hertz refresh rate. I'll compare them as I go along. Okay, so the PlayStation VR is 120 hertz refresh rate. They also note that it is also a 90 hertz refresh rate. So I believe, well, I predict that depending on the game and the how demanding the game is, it may go to 90 hertz or 120 hertz depending on how demanding the game is. The other key difference between these headsets is that the PlayStation VR has a lower resolution screen. then the HTC Vive, and the Oculus Rift. The PlayStation VR has, I believe it's a 1920 by 900 screen per eye. Um, no, sorry, it's 960 by 1080 per eye with a 100-degree field of view. The Oculus Rift, on the other hand, and the HTC Vive has 1080 by 1200 per eye, but the Oculus and the HTC Vive are capped at 90 Hz. The other key difference between them is the price point. As I mentioned before, the PlayStation VR comes in at $399 or £350, whereas the Oculus Rift comes in at $600 and the HTC Vive is $800. Another caveat of the PlayStation VR is that you require the PlayStation camera, which is not included by the looks of it with the PlayStation VR. It's not shown in any of the packaging or contents of the box details that they've released. So that will set you back another £40. So all in, it looks like it's going to be £400, including the camera if you don't already have it, or about $450. Yeah, so the box of the PlayStation VR includes a few things. It obviously includes the headset, includes that's the VR headset, sorry. Includes the earbuds for sound, includes a little box which has a processor in it, because of course a PlayStation 4 on its own wouldn't be powerful enough to drive this hardware. And that's about it. If you don't have the PlayStation Move controllers, you will need those as well for certain games, so you'd have to invest in those as well. That was a bit of a mouthful, but I think I included everything. But yeah, so for the price point, the hardware that you're getting is good. It's not a bad package for the price, especially when you compare it to the other VR headsets. But you have to remember that you'll be getting less of a VR experience with this, mainly because of the resolution on the screen. It's not going to be a huge difference by any means. But in terms of quality,
You're pretty much
of the
talking
games,
about just image quality and everything, right? You're
yeah,
not talking about the
that
actual functionality.
well, the image quality does come into it a lot, because lots of people did complain that if the image quality isn't up there, it makes you sick. And refresh rate obviously has a lot to do with that as well. But at the same time, I do think that it will be a pleasant experience, and I don't think people have problems with it, because it does look like a pretty good deal. And I'm hoping that the graphical quality of it will also be up there. Well, that's what I think, anyways.
All right, so we've come down to lower quality experience, but
Yeah,
acceptable experience for $400, and
yeah,
then we have the ones that are pretty much going to be probably the cutting edge, the top tier ones for the quality of build and the image experience.
yeah.
Those are looking at $600 and $800,
Yeah,
right?
but those also have, well, the Oculus Rift, for example, it has the same functionality as the PlayStation VR, but of course, it's going to be, it's going to be playing Steam games or PC games, and you'll be able to stream your Xbox One games to it. On top of that, because it will be connected to a really high-end gaming rig, which is obviously another caveat of these high-end VR headsets, you need like $1,000 minimum machine to run the damn things, but your VR experience, if you can afford it, will be far superior to anything else on the market.
All right. So as far as like the general consumer goes, we've told the specs, and we've told who's offering them and what you need to actually use it.
Yeah, pretty
Let's
much.
just start with the low end. Sony, obviously, it's designed to work with the PS4. Is that correct?
Yeah, the PS4 exclusively.
Exactly. So that's at least a minimum entry of the was it 350 now for a PS4? Just a
You can
PS4.
pick them up for about £300, so I guess
But
350-ish dollars.
yeah, that's new out of the box. I'm sure you can find secondhand, but if you're buying straight up new, you're looking for £300, 350. They've gone down, but they pretty much balanced out the same price with the Xbox, I think.
Yeah,
So let's just a general 300 there. And then not only do you have to have that, now you also have to have a um the obviously the VR headset to it,
and the
which
camera and the
which
PlayStation Move controllers.
does that come with a bundle?
No.
with these. Okay, so what investment do you have to do to experience the VR headset? Do you need? I guess the camera is minimalistically, and the Move controllers are optional. I guess it comes down to development, but
Yeah.
I guess to use just a general VR headset to like I take one of those. What is it like virtual tours that everyone's basically talking about? What the
Yeah.
camera and the headset? What's the investment in all that? You're welcome to quote it in British pounds if you happen to know those price points.
Okay. So if we're talking British pounds here, and the dollar value will be slightly higher, obviously, British pounds, you're talking 650 for a PS4 and a VR headset. Then you have to add on the camera, which is about £40. So then you're talking close to £700, and then you have to factor in the Move controllers, which let's say £30 to £50. So let's just round it off to within £750. That's not including any games. You get a free game with it, and like a few VR
Yeah,
demos and
let's
stuff.
not talk about all the software and everything, but this is just the hardware
Yeah, so
investment at this
within
point.
£750.
Okay, and the closest, so that's still with, that's just for the peripheral. So we're still in the, so we're in the $700 rating. What do you need for the $600 price point headset? It's besides a PC, right?
Okay, for the $600 Oculus Rift, it comes with an Xbox One controller. The actual VR controllers will be sold separately later on. They're not out. They're not going to come out on release. Um, but your PC will need a minimum spec of a GTX 970 or the equivalent AMD card. It'll need a good processor, and these are
So
just
we're
like
already talking in like the $250? That's like the 200 British pounds approximately. I mean, minimum for
that's
those
just for a
cards, right?
graphics card. But
Yeah, that's just the graphics card. That's not the PC, but that's at least the graphics card. So let's just kind of
yeah,
throw that
like
in there.
my
A
graphics
graphics
card
card.
was £280, and that's a
So,
970.
uh, I mean, I guess you could do a budget build for what, $500?
No,
$500?
it's not gonna cut it.
This is well. I'm just gonna undershoot it. So let's just even it out. Let's just give everyone the benefit of the doubt. You know, you have the $500 PC. If you're able to get a PC for $500, and that's
It's
being generous,
yeah, good
and
luck.
that's being generous. You have $500 plus the investment of the headset. So that's already over 1100. So let's just call it 1,000 British pounds. Just kind of round that number there. So you're still in the £1,000 range on that particular investment. It besides and you don't even have any software for it yet, but that's fine. We're not talking about software right now. You just need that headset and a PC to run it, right?
Yeah,
Okay. And what about the other one? That's in the $800 range. You
HTC
still need a
Vive.
PC, right? What do you need for the run that? Do you know is it better on the minimum specs for hardware need?
No, it's all going to come into about the same. But the HTC Vive comes with the controllers that you need for it, and it also has the motion sensors for your room. So with the HTC Vive, you can actually walk around and interact with the VR environment, so to speak. But that's the
So
reason why it's more expensive.
okay, so to walk in without having any other peripherals, we're looking at the low end 750 British pounds on a good day for the Sony platforms.
Yeah.
And then we're probably looking at, I guess on a good day, around the 1,500 British pounds mark for the other PC-based systems, right?
Yeah, I'd say 750 for PlayStation VR and double it for Oculus and the Vive. The Vive would be slightly more expensive though. So I'd say a minimum of £1,500 for the PC equivalents.
That's brutal.
Yeah, that's being sensible.
Okay, so now that we've gotten um, that at least out of the closet, and that's all set out to dry. Um, how many people are going to invest in that? I mean, that's definitely a huge investment for everyone's getting hyped about the technology, but like actual I'm going to use the term killer apps that you need for this technology. What is there? I mean, what concepts of a killer app do you have
Uh,
that people are like everyone's getting hyped for what you can do? What is there to do right now?
Okay, I'll give you. I'm glad you mentioned that because I forgot to mention this. PlayStation VR will launch between the launch in October this year and the end of the year. They're promising 50 games. One of those games includes a VR version of Star Wars Battlefront. So yeah, 50 games before the end of the year, and they've got 230 developers building content for the PlayStation VR. And obviously, there's an equivalent or greater number of developers working on the Oculus and the HTC Vive.
Okay. So you have people that are but these aren't specialized applications.
No, no,
These are
they are
just,
VR games.
yes, no, they're VR games, but what I'm saying is you're saying Star Wars Battlefront, for example. That's obviously a ported game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's just something they've kind of thrown in there by the looks of
Yeah.
it.
So have they made, is there anything that is specialized for VR that is the whole the killer app for this sort of platform? Is anyone hyped about anything? Do they have actually? I mean, they say, "Oh well, we got all this planned." Well, we've heard all that before. What is there
Uh,
that's actually specialized right now? Is there's really nothing you can list off like bam, bam, bam. Nothing.
I don't have enough information right now to answer that, so
Okay.
I'm not
So I
going.
think that at least you can't think of one without research. That's at least a good
Yeah,
example. Okay, so let's just round everything. That's still
yeah. Let's
thousand
sum up.
dollars to the consumer. How many people are going to dump that much money?
Okay, the way I look at it is if you're a PC enthusiast and you have a rig that is capable of running an Oculus and a HTC Vive and you're interested in that technology, then the investment is quite large, so the uptake is going to be a lot smaller because of all of the different issues that you might face. The thing that I believe will really set VR into the market and it'll give it a good run at being a success is the PlayStation VR because lots of people who want a PlayStation 4 already have one. There's over 35 million people out there who bought the damn thing. And an investment of £350 or $400 for a VR headset, if you're interested in the technology, which people obviously are interested in it, is the cheapest way to get into the technology. So I think PlayStation releasing PlayStation VR is a good thing for the whole VR industry because it will get people into the technology.
Now that's obviously nice to have like the lowest price point of the industry to kind of get you in there, but I still see a problem with people wanting to purchase it that your peripheral costs more than your platform.
Yeah, but that's if you don't have a
No, let's
PlayStation right
yeah,
now.
but obviously you've already spent, X amount of dollars on your general platform, right? Regardless of what it is. Your PlayStation. I, it, it's I just see the Power Glove happening again.
Yeah, I
I,
know what you mean,
I
but
kind of see the Power Glove happening again. All this hype saying, "Oh well, hey, this is that what's going to be in the future," and then it comes out, and then people were like, "Well, we have this technology, which technologically, the Power Glove wasn't bad technology. It, if you knew how to set it up and worked it right, it would have been fine. But there was literally they shoehorned in the technology into something around what was already existing, which is, well, what VR is right now, what you're like Star Wars Battlefront is a perfect example. They're taking an existing product and shoehorning in the technology into it. But the specialized games, which there were like two or three of them or something, there's like one that has like a glove option game, those actually worked. But no one else wanted to develop for it afterward, or no one could think about, well, what can we finally use this technology for?
yeah.
And that's one reason why it also just died, because the stuff that they tried modifying to existing products worked horribly, or it wasn't special or useful at all, and people found it cumbersome because it was just an extra peripheral. It was overpriced. Yeah, I'm talking about something that happened in like the 80s, but the concept's the same about the hype, the expectations, the experimental technology, that sort of thing. It's all there. Um, but and the price point. I think that VR would have a better chance if it eventually came to maybe $100 price point, or
Oh, that's not
75
going to happen
for
for a
Japan.
long time.
Yeah, and that's why I'm seeing right now it's not this at this stage, it's not going to take off. We're probably still looking another 15, 20 years before VR would be actually a more of a household thing. I
Okay,
still think
real.
I don't think it's going to be a bad a actually, panning itself, but it will be a niche market. At least that's my prediction on
Yeah.
it.
Okay, we'll reflect on this in the next 12 months and we'll see how VR is going once all three of them have hit the market. But
Mhm.
right now, I think we should sum up. But one thing I will do is YouTube has a new feature called, well, it's the cards thing that you can put on the top. So, listener, what I'll be doing, I'll be adding a poll, which will pop up on your screen right now. If you will be buying any of the three VR headsets coming onto the market, PlayStation VR, Oculus Rift, or the HTC Vive, click yes. If you will not be buying them, click no. If you don't give a damn, click I don't give a damn, and we'll check
And
the
if you
poll
like me
results.
hearing me with DK and you want to hear more of me, click the thing that I'm going to force DK to put in here saying, "Hey, I like him. Keep him."
No, no, but if, yeah, but that doesn't, no, I'm not adding that. Okay, okay, so to sum up,
Tell me in the
PlayStation,
comments below, guys.
oh god. Okay, so to sum up, PlayStation VR coming out in October 2016, $400 or £350. Get a PlayStation camera secondhand from somewhere if you can, and those Move controllers. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Nexus, you may sign out.
Have fun, guys, and peace out.
Alright, thanks for watching everyone. Please click like, click subscribe, leave a comment down below, hit the poll, and we'll catch you in the next one. I'm DK86. Bye!